All I can say is Michael Olise.
Oh my goodness.
It's a bit of a smash and grab, really. But if they're to win at the weekend, I think that'll set them up perfectly for the rest of the season.
Do we need to humble ourselves though a little bit? If you look at their players, player for player, PSG have got better players than Liverpool.
Who would have thought Newcastle went to Paris and battered them as well? Should have won.
He's got Newcastle in. He's got him in at Micah. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker, recording this on Thursday morning after 2 nights of Champions League football. What did we make of the overall of the quality of the Champions League games? I thought Bayern Munich at Real Madrid was probably the best game. So many chances both ends. Not great defending, but it was great to watch.
Yeah, still a lot to play for in that game. I mean, the number of chances that I saw was unbelievable from both teams.
All I can say is Michael Olise.
Oh my goodness.
Every time I watch him, I'm thinking, how have Man City not got him? How have Liverpool not got him? Early though. And I don't mean just now. I mean early doors. I remember Olise playing against City thinking, this guy's something special. I know there was a few concerns around his injuries and stuff, but he's taking his game to the next level. He's almost Lamine, the dreamlike. He's similar level.
Yeah, obviously, he was at Reading, wasn't he, before Palace got him? Can you remember he cut in off the right-hand side, as he often does, and scored that unbelievable goal? I think I called it as Goal of the Month winner. And then within an hour, someone scored one that was even better. And I remember you rubbishing me in the studio, Albert. And I remember because obviously, friend of the pod, Steve Parish, who'd had him at Palace, and I remember discussing with him in the early days when they had both Olise and Eze, and I was talking about both of them, he said Olise's unbelievably special. We all think he's going to be a superstar. So he was spot on that. And you could see that incredible talent. It really is very special. This episode is powered by Fuse Energy. Before we kick off, a quick pre-match warm-up from Fuse. Today's question is, which club recorded the most clean sheets in the Premier League last season? Was it A, Manchester City, B, Liverpool, C, Aston Villa, or D, Arsenal?
I'm going to play reverse psychology here. Why would you put Villa in there?
Is that your answer?
No, it's not. I'm going Liverpool.
Liverpool. That was a quick change there, wasn't it? Alan, who are you going for?
Villa.
Mike has sucked you in there, hasn't he?
Yes.
That is not the answer. The answer, the team that recorded the most clean sheets, of which neither of you even gave them a mention there.
You know what? I know it.
You don't know it.
It's Arsenal because Raya got he got the golden glove, didn't he?
Correct. It's Arsenal with 13 clean sheets. The best sides don't give things away. It should be the same with your energy. Get more than just lower rates at fuseenergy.com/football. Use the code football, all uppercase, when you sign up. Save around £200 on your energy bill and get the chance to ask us your football questions on the pod. Full terms and conditions at fuseenergy.com. This feels a bit negative, unless you're a PSG fan, but starting with Liverpool, and their season of woe continues in many ways, because, he obviously tried to change things, played 5 at the back. I think it's the first time I've seen him play with a proper team. I think he did it with his youngsters in a cup tie. He's also, as well, slightly ironic because he's been very critical of teams playing a low block against Liverpool and said, I'll make it difficult for us. And then obviously went out to do exactly that against PSG. I suppose when it suits you, it's fine. But, I don't think they had a shot on target.
No. He said that himself afterwards. It was damage limitation, wasn't it? But, they had a right result, only getting done 2-0. It could have been 4, 5, 6, should have been, with the chances that PSG had. I didn't mind him trying something different because clearly what's been going on beforehand hasn't been working because they've been terrible defensively. They were last night. They were awful again. But at least he's trying to do something different. He knows that going in against those players, that forward line of PSG, that because of the way they've been playing Liverpool, that they were going to be under the caution. He said it himself, it was damage limitation. It's going to be a big ask going back to Anfield with those forwards, but Anfield's a dangerous place when it gets going, but I don't know, they're massively up against it and going to be difficult for them to turn it around. It's just, they're all over the place, Liverpool.
It was very similar to the game when they met last year in Paris, wasn't it? But Liverpool nicked it on that occasion, but there wasn't much difference because PSG bossed it last year as well, but somehow they managed to get a result. When it's funny, when things are going well, you can do that. When they're not so often.
Yeah, exactly that. I totally agree. I also agree with Alan in terms of the manager trying something. The only thing is when you play with a 5 at the back, and I've played in a 5 at the back, people think we just play a 5 at the back. You could have offensive formation, you could have a defensive formation. Inter Milan did it really well where they dropped in, but then when they went, they all went. Rotations were brilliant. Yeah. The only thing yesterday with Liverpool was when they was at the 5 at the back, because of the movement of PSG, Van Dijk had to step out and Konate had to step out into places where they didn't want to be. So the reason why you play with 5 at the back is so you're stable at the back. But then when the ball goes into midfield, you've got to jump early. But because PSG are so electric, it was so hard for them to get anywhere near it. And once your centre-half steps out, and then Konate misses one, and they've got the pace of Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, it was just a recipe for disaster. I would have gone with 5 at the back, but my wing-backs stay. Because what they was doing is sort of getting caught in between, and then 4 in midfield in front of them. Because if you actually look, they went a 5-3-2.
Yeah.
When all the width was left to PSG, and that's where they was the strongest, you know? So it was too hard for Liverpool's midfield to get out. I understand why they had Szoboszlai a little bit higher because they wanted to press. Yeah. But once they got through that line of defence, it was impossible for them to get anywhere near PSG.
He'll go back to 4 next week at Anfield, and Salah will be back in the team.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
But big game at the weekend for Liverpool, and of course next Tuesday. We're doing that game as well Tuesday, so it should be great.
You look at it at the moment, you think I don't give them much chance. But it is Anfield, it is under the lights, and it is a Champions League night, and we know what they can do. I've witnessed it myself at Anfield on a couple of occasions. But at the moment, it's a team that looks
fragile,
slightly bereft of confidence defensively in particular, I would say. And they're not the customary threat going forward, but in a one-off you can turn that around. Don't forget PSG will have a rest at this weekend. The French League looks after their teams in the Champions League. Rather than whining, perhaps the Premier League could do something similar at some point, or if they could. I think it's difficult. We have so many games, and they can win the league anyway, easily enough with any kind of rest.
Do we need to humble ourselves, though, a little bit? Because do you remember earlier on the season, PSG are not quite at it. Yes, they were holders, but they played a lot of games, the Club World Cup and all that sort. Every time it comes to this stage, even if Liverpool were to go through, of course, you have to say they deserve to go through. But in terms of the game yesterday, they got absolutely battered.
Yeah.
It could have been 4 or 5. And when we just think Liverpool, great Liverpool side, a couple of players are coming towards the end. Because we're not watching PSG every single week, we sort of dismiss the quality that. If you look at their players, player for player, PSG have got better players than Liverpool.
They have, yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Who would have thought Newcastle went to Paris and battered them as well? Should have won.
He's got Newcastle in. He's got them in. Micah. Headphones have been thrown off. Micah's storming out of the room.
I love it, Micah. I love it.
He's back. He's a temporary. Oh God.
I was at that. I was at Anfield for that Barcelona game, the comeback, and it was unbelievable. I mean, it's very, very different now, of course, but. If Liverpool get the first goal, you can imagine what it'll be like. But I just can't see them, the way they are defensively at the minute, I cannot see them keeping that forward line out and PSG not scoring.
last time they played a year ago, actually, Liverpool were much the better side at Anfield, weren't they? And they didn't turn it around, but and somehow, if I remember rightly, Donnarumma had an absolute incredible game, didn't he? In goal, kept them out, and then they sneaked it. Some good. But I tell you, I don't know whether he's slightly underrated. He doesn't seem to get mentioned in the. I mean, he does, but not as much as he should do. Kvaratskhelia.
Cool.
What a beautiful footballer!
Some ability. Oof.
I mean, talking about the what we call him the Oracle. I did mention him. I did mention it. Early doors. I did mention it. Yeah, Alan was like, "Yeah, he's good, but he's not that good." I told you when he was at Napoli. I saw it, because I'm the Italian correspondent now. Do you know what I mean? So
I watched a lot of Italy in Italy as well. They used to call him, didn't they? The Caradonna, yeah, because of Napoli, and obviously Maradona played there. Yeah, Caradonna.
That's not what I picked out. That was just you could see it. Everyone could see it when they won the league. It was him, wasn't it? And awesome. And so yeah, to see him go to PSG, and he went for a lot of money. I think it was 100 million. I think it was. Might have been dollars though, but he's just lived up to it. They're just so...
Micah's up to his old tricks again, the old chief scout. Someone goes for 80 million. I spotted him early.
He had him on Football Manager when he was 12.
I told you so.
8 goals and 4 assists this season in the Champions League. He's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, that is a hell of a talented forward line. I know Dembele missed a couple of chances, one in particular missed a really glaring opportunity, but Doué's a talented young man, a bit fortunate with a goal.
Can I give you one more suggestion? Warren Zaire-Emery. I don't know, we've sort of hinted at it before.
Well, I think, didn't Thierry mention him?
Correct.
When he came on, it's quite a while ago now, and he's as a young up-and-coming player.
But you know them young players who do well, and they're out of the team because Fabian Ruiz is playing. But him, I thought he was the best player on the pitch. He absolutely ran it. He ran. How are you running the midfield at 20? But not just like tackles, technically running forward, passes, everything. He was superb.
He really was. So all to do for Liverpool. Arsenal, tell us what it was like there for a start, Alan. You were there in the stadium.
Great, brilliant atmosphere, lovely stadium. Lisbon's a lovely place. But they weren't brilliant, Arsenal, but I think from what we've seen for a while now, they did enough. But I've got to say the save was
onto the bar,
from
Raya
early on in the game. I mean, that makes a huge difference. I guess if Kepa's in, that goes in, and they're 1-0 down, and it's a totally different attitude, different game. The importance of that save, I can't say enough about it. It was a fantastic save at a crucial time as well, because that gave them a little bit of a platform. They were tough, they were resilient. He made a couple of saves again in the second half. But we go on about Arsenal's squad. And Arsenal's squad worked this time. I mean, bringing Martinelli on, bringing Havertz on, bringing young Max Daumann on, and that did the trick, with Martinelli cutting inside, the little ball into Havertz, and the finish, and it was a bit of a smash and grab, really. But they go again at the weekend, and I think if they're to win at the weekend, I think that'll set them up perfectly for the rest of the season.
While you're on about Raya, I think we all rate him in this country. I think worldwide, though, it's slightly different. He's not even generally first choice for Spain. Simon, who plays at Bilbao, is first choice goalkeeper at the moment. So, God, they must have some good keepers if he's not their number one.
Yeah, but Simon is amazing.
He is a good goalie, yeah.
Yeah, he's top. But Raya's good as well.
He pulled a couple of good saves off second half as well, particularly one down to his left. He sort of parried one, was up sharp to get the rebound. So, I mean, that's the discussion about playing Kepa in the 2 cup games, the Carabao and the FA Cup. And, of course, they go out and make some mistake and go out in both of them. But he brings him back in for the biggest one, I guess. And he was absolutely outstanding.
He really was. I mean, it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. That used to be a thing, didn't it? 1-0 to the Arsenal. And then it's a bit like the old George Graham days. I think that's when they really started to get that reputation. But it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
I think there'll come a point where Arsenal find a little bit of a form. They've ground out a result there. They've not done that in the previous 2 games. So I think result was way more important than anything else in this. It always is, obviously, but even more so perhaps in this game to get it over the line. Confidence from a victory, mate. If they get one at the weekend again, then all of a sudden the world's a better place, and I can see them playing some better football. I think they've just been through a sticky spell, and that might be a little turning point winning that game away.
I think this weekend is key again. I mean, they're back under huge pressure again against Bournemouth. Huge pressure again to win the game. And if they can win the game with City going to Chelsea the following day, then I really do. I think this weekend is key. If they win this weekend, I think it'll set them up for the rest of the season, and you'll see a better Arsenal.
Totally agree, Al. I think this whole week is key. Not just what you've mentioned. Also, Atletico Madrid, which we'll talk about a little bit later, Barcelona. If you're thinking Arsenal, Barcelona, you'd say Barcelona, but Arsenal can beat Atletico Madrid if they go through against Sporting, without doubt. So what looked a horrible couple of weeks for them could turn into something really positive if they was to get the win against Bournemouth, get through the Sporting, and then Atletico was to beat Barca over the two legs. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. We'll discuss those other two quarterfinals when we come back. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker, discussing the Champions League quarterfinals and who might go into those semi-finals. I suppose Bayern Munich now very much favourites. I mean, I really enjoyed watching that game. Now, you could say that some of the defending wasn't particularly good, and I think that would be an absolutely fair comment from both teams, really. And you could say that some of the finishing wasn't that good. But the overall match was like a basketball game, end to end, some brilliant performances. We talked about Michael Olise early on. Our very own Harry Kane scored again, terrific finish from him. And that game really is set up. But I wanted to ask you both, really. We talked about Vincent a lot, didn't we, in that season at Burnley. First one when they got up from the Championship, then they went down. And lots of people saying, blimey, Bayern Munich, they've gone for Vincent when he just had his team relegated. So that would surprise a lot of people. But what a job he's done and is doing.
Yeah, brilliant. He's got some great players in there. He looks a bit like he's cool hand look, isn't he, on the touchline? He looks so cool, doesn't he? And comfortable in what he's doing. And he's doing a brilliant job. It helps when you got a centre forward who's got 49 goals.
Incredible, isn't it?
49 goals.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Sometimes you just know. You know when someone's got it. I didn't think he'd be at Bayern this early in his career. But in terms of his application and his knowledge of the game, plus the hard work and the experience he's had, the leadership, you always knew he was going to do something special. But to be doing it at Bayern Munich, like you said, Gaz, for them to take the chance on him because he stood by his principles in terms of how he wanted to play. And I think that's massive. Same with Liam Messina at Chelsea as well, where they have a style of play. And now clubs are sort of going down that way instead of sometimes just the big name because, you know, they're experience-wise.
Kompany is a big name though, Micah.
No, in terms of the name and how long he's been in the
like
job.
A Mourinho or
he's
a Conte.
Inexperienced. He's gone from Burnley to Bayern. You know, that's inexperience. But in terms of what he can offer, I'm absolutely delighted for him.
So am I, because he's a top bloke as well.
He's a lovely guy.
He really is a lovely guy. He's, you know, and he's I think he's a credit to football.
He's got a class about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm really chuffed. I like him a lot, and it's great to see him doing that way. And also I think it's really important that a young black manager gets a chance at a monster club. And I didn't turn this into a race thing, but I think it is important because it needs at some point our sport to reflect the number of footballers we have with different coloured skin, but the difference in managers is stark. There are hardly any opportunities. So I think someone like Vincent doing well I think will open the door for many others. I think recently Ashley Cole got a job, didn't he, in the second tier in Italy. Wish Ashley all the very best with that as well. And Rossini the same, obviously, here at Chelsea. So I think that is also important that football is so diverse in the dressing rooms, but it's not in management and certainly not in ownership, that's for sure. So it's a step in the right direction. We mentioned Harry Kane now and the fact he scored 49 goals. He's currently with the bookmakers, a slight favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. This is an opportunity here for us to what we can do some clickbait, like everyone does. So we can do that thing where it goes on all socials and we say Harry Kane's going to win the Ballon d'Or or otherwise, because it is ridiculously early in a season that ultimately that is decided by probably the World Cup, I would say.
Cup, yeah.
Yeah. So, but if England go a long way and Bayern Munich win the Champions League and Harry Kane finishes the year with about 80 goals, it will be quite good.
Then he'll get it, yeah.
Come on, we're doing that thing now, aren't we? It's coming home. It started already. You've started.
No, we never said it's coming home. What? The Ballon d'Or's coming home.
You started talking about the Ballon d'Or, the World Cup. Oh, my.
No,
in terms of his goal-scoring record, I totally agree with you. And he deserves it because he was a laughing stock at Spurs. He's not going to win a trophy. Look at him now. Absolutely fantastic. However, I mean, to win the Ballon d'Or, he's probably got to win the World Cup. And after the last couple of games we've seen England play, I'd be...
those games absolutely have no effect whatsoever on what happens in the World Cup. Totally different. Months apart, different thing. You win one game and you're off and running and it's coming home.
You know what? It's coming home.
Tuchel was at the game though, wasn't he? He was at the game.
He was at the Real Madrid game and I thought it was really important that he was there. Because obviously he left Trent out and Bellingham didn't play any games. Bellingham's coming back from injury and it was a bit of a surprise he didn't start because Real Madrid's midfield was awful. And Jude made quite a difference when he came on. And I thought Trent was very much one of Real Madrid's better players. He hit 4 or 5 unbelievable passes, including the cross for Mbappe's goal.
Great ball in, wasn't it? Nightmare for a defender, those type of balls. It was a fabulous ball.
He hit some unbelievable through balls, Trent, by pinging about 50 yards over people's heads. He's so talented.
Offensively, he's one of the best.
If you're too nervous to play him because you're worried about his defensive issues, doesn't matter, have him on the bench to come on if you're 1-0 down. I mean, it's absolute no-brainer. No one can do what he does. No one. Certainly not in England.
Totally agree. But Hakimi's not far off, by the way. Oof.
Yeah, but he's not English, Mike. We can't pick him. I mean, Hakimi's a fabulous player, brilliant going forward, and very good defensively as well. He's all round. You could argue he's better, but he hasn't got Trent's passing range.
Yeah, I give you that.
No, that's all I'm saying, Mike. I'm not going to argue with you who's the better player. I'm just saying when it comes to the passing range of Trent's the joke. It really is. So who wins that one?
Oh, great game.
I mean, Bayern have got it. I mean, it's a tough place to go in there. They've got to win, obviously, Real Madrid. See, I worked that out with mathematics. They've got to win, but I just can't. Real Madrid, they can't keep getting away with it in this competition because they're not very good at the moment.
Every time you back against them, though, you look stupid, don't you? You always have to put, but it's Real Madrid at the end, just in case.
That's true, because they've got this strange thing with this tournament.
All the stats, the eye test, everything suggests that Bayern should absolutely batter them. They should do. And they should have scored 3 or 4 the other day.
But
it's Real Madrid, and they've got special players who perform in the biggest of moments. But if I was a betting man, I would go with Bayern.
Yeah.
Loads of goals, I think there'll be.
I mean, it's mad that there were only 3 in that one because it could have been 6-5 or 6-2 or it could have been anything in that game.
I think there'll be loads of goals again because I think both teams, just the way they play and the forwards that are going to be on the pitch.
Let's finish with Barcelona and Atletico, which is the game that I watched. I flicked from 2. I watched the first 15 minutes of Liverpool, then the second 15 minutes of Barcelona Atletico, and then kind of stuck with that game. I mean, it was a bonkers game of football. Even with 10 men, and there was one moment that completely changed the game, and that was the sending off of Kompany when football's become a non-contact sport. I know technically he probably had to go, but I just thought he's tried to get out of his way. His back leg, the guy running through, has got in the way and he's accidentally hit him and he's gone off on a red card. Caused, though, I have to say, by that high line, that we know is very dangerous. But apart from that, I mean, Barcelona battered them even with 10 men, but just couldn't finish it off yesterday.
Yeah, that decision though, guys, is that you as a forward, you're going through, you've got a free hit at goal. Yeah. And it might not be the defender's fault, but you're going through on goal and you've been fouled. Doesn't matter whether it's accidentally or not, it's still... I get it, but at the same time, I hate saying this, but, go back in the day, that wouldn't never have even been a foul. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a foul. Whether you I think it's a foul.
I think he was clever. He ran across the front.
Yeah, which you have to do as a forward. That's his part of his... I'm
not saying it wasn't a red card. I'm just saying that, it was highly unfortunate, but it was caused by that, that crazy high line that they do play. They didn't play it particularly in the second half so much because they're down to 10 men, but they did play some good stuff, Barca, but they couldn't finish off. Rashford played really well in the first half.
He had a big chance early on, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a good chance, yeah.
What the free kick of Alvarez.
Oh, my word. What unbelievable. And it was all from the same decision, red card, free kick, goal, change of match, 10 men.
I think I've got to admit, this is one I got quite wrong, actually, Alvarez. Because he was at City and he wasn't playing, and I didn't think he was this good.
I thought you did. I thought you spoke really highly of him. I thought we all did.
No, the Oracle got this one wrong. I have to admit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's because he was frustrated. I know the period after he won the World Cup, he got a little bit frustrated, sort of being second fiddle. But I was like, you're not going to play in front of Haaland. They're only playing one up front at the time. What do you expect? But he can play. He's better. He can lead the line. He can link it.
Well, I will say, Micah, he's had a tough spell this season. A really tough spell at Atletico, and there's a lot of talk. He's very heavily linked with Barcelona. There's a lot of rumours about that, whether they can afford him or not, and all that sort of stuff. Who knows? But the rumours in the Spanish press about it. He was asked about it in the pre-match conference, actually, that he was part of, and I think he just said, well, let's see what happens at the end of the season, which generally means I'm interested.
Is there any talk on Rashford? I know you do the League pod as well. I mean, what's the situation there with Barcelona?
I think again, they're probably in negotiation. It's mainly the problems with Barcelona, not necessarily who they want to get because they want these players, but it's the financial situation and what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. They generally have found a way of getting in the players that they want. I think they're really, really pleased. Well, I know they are really pleased with Rashford's season, with his attitude in particular, when he's been left out, when Rafinha's come in and things like that. So I thought he had a really good game yesterday. Could have had a goal or two. He did have a goal, but it was Yamal was marginally offside, unfortunately. So I don't know. My gut says I think he'll stay. I don't think there's any doubt that he wants to. I think it'd be hard for him to go back to Manchester United, although it's under different leadership now, but we don't know what that leadership will be next season just yet. Yeah, I think Barcelona are kind of keen to make it happen. I think Marcus really wants to make it happen. And hopefully that'll be the case. I think for someone like Alvarez, I think they would bring in, if they possibly can, as a replacement for Lewandowski, who's obviously his late 30s now.
But the reason why I ask you that, just quickly, is because Rashford can play number 9 as well. Number 9.
No, and that's what he's done this season. He's filled in at times. He's played a little bit on the right. He's gone up front, although generally, even in midweek, they put Dani Olmo, funnily enough, up top. He can play there as well. But they clearly prefer him on the left. But in that position at present, he's up against Rafinha, who's obviously one of the best players in the world. And he's out for a few weeks, though, which is quite good, possibly for England and for his chances of playing regularly for England, because he needs a few games. And you know what Marcus is like. When he's on it, and he's playing really well. And if he goes into the World Cup in form with confidence, that would be a massive plus for England.
Yep.
Can Barca turn this around? I would say of all the teams that are losing going into the second leg, even though they're 2 down, I think Barca could do it. They've got the talent to do it. and they are a better team than Atletico. But Simeone's he's a wily old fox.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, clever guy.
For Barcelona to win it, they've got to move the high line back just 5 yards, and because Barcelona will dominate the game. But do you remember in the Copa del Rey where it was 4-0 one game, 3-0 the other?
Yeah.
Atletico battered them at home, didn't they? So they need to be careful of that. If they drop that line 5, they can definitely overcome. But we need to talk about the penalty, which should have been the handball.
I know.
The goalkeeper, have you seen it, Al?
I haven't seen it, no.
So you might have seen it. It happened with Tyrone Mings. I think it was last season.
So I thought this was even more clear because the ball was
100%.
clearly stationary. The goalkeeper's passed it along the 6-yard box and he's put his hand on it to stop it. And then
the referee blew his whistle as well. So that's the law. That's the law of the game.
How did they not turn that over?
Is that why he was going mad after the game, the manager? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those, Al, where you just get it and, they're always messing around. Everyone wants the ball in a 6-yard box, don't touching it and all that. Going to play the early one. But the referee blew the whistle.
And then the keeper passed it and then he put his hands on it. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
it was ridiculous. It wasn't with Arsenal. I think it was last season or season that they got away with. But that should have been a penalty. At that stage, it was 1-0 as well. So that would have got them back into the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Let's call it a day there. It's got some lively games next week. Look forward to those.
Yep.
And we'll be back, of course, on Monday. Premier League's back. It's been this seems like a different season.
3 weeks, hasn't
3
it?
weeks, isn't it?
I know. It's mad that it's been that long. So look forward to watching those games over the weekend, and we're back with you on Monday. But for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a good weekend.